Daddy's going down.
Hi, I'm Nathan Jones, and this is Martin Archery's Wild Extremes. I hope everybody's got something warm on, because today you're all going with me north of the border. We're at Lane Lake Outfitters hunting whitetail in Saskatchewan. We rolled into Lane Lake Outfitters just before the gun season came in and hunted the last few days of the bow season, and what a hunt it was. On this hunt, we were met with snowstorms, wolf encounters, and intense cold. But most importantly, the great hospitality exhibited by Reg Qualley and his staff at Lane Lake Outfitters. I hope all of you enjoy this one. I know I sure did. This is Martin Archery's Wild Extremes.
Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. Volunteer Cabin Rentals in Chateau Berdin. Now you have a second home. With your host, Nathan Jones. And also brought to you in part by these other great companies: the Kankakee Marsh Hunt Club, Grim Reaper Broadheads, Carbon Tech Arrows, and Kicking Bear One-on-One. We've had a lot of action.
God, I love this.
This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years.
This poplar tree here, and I've got real nice back cover on it. And actually I've got some big poplars in front of it that kind of shield us as the deer coming in. I've got a trail. Everything's real close in here. Got a trail at 10 yards going to a major scrape. Strategy. This is the part of hunting great big deer that I love, is the strategy of the whole deal.
When bow hunting mature whitetail bucks, even though you might be in a great funnel, if you choose the wrong tree, you can miss getting a shot by just scant yards. So when scouting a new area, I try to leave nothing to chance and open up my shooting lanes. Lane Lake Outfitters has a great deer population, and even though the sign in this patch of bush was tremendous, I knew that I would still have to get the $1 million tree dialed in. As I hung this first set, I mentally kept my fingers crossed, hoping that this would be that tree. I finally got our set hung for the following morning and thought we had a plan in effect. But when you hunt this far north, be prepared for surprises of all kinds. Mother Nature would be paying us a visit the next morning.
Well, this is our first morning up here at Lane Lake Outfitters. Come in here late yesterday afternoon and set this setup. And today, winter arrived, or last night I should say. Even though it's November, the rut really hasn't geared up here, and it's still just at the post end of the pre-rut. And we got a chance to kill a great big one in here, running this scrape line. It's going to be awesome. Don't go anywhere. I think we got a deer right over here. I can hear a little bit of movement.
In Saskatchewan, normally you are hunting bait, but trust me, it's not shooting fish in a barrel. I equate it to hunting food plots. The deer have trails they enter and exit on. So I set the tree stands the afternoon before, knowing I would have to figure out which trail a good buck was using in order to get my Martin Slayer pulled back on one. There is another factor in hunting in the north, that being the elements. But if you can tough it out, the rewards are tremendous.
Does it get any better? Maybe not. Oh yeah. If a monster walks up here, it gets better.
And suddenly, a monster of another kind showed up.
It's a wolf.
My heart raced, for on this afternoon, I was not the only predator in this patch of bush.
Did you guys see that wolf? That thing was a monster. Right there is why we're not seeing any deer in here today. Well, what a day we had here at Lane Lake Outfitters, our first day. Saw two pretty nice little bucks and a monster wolf. That was something to see. Just about it for today. We sat through some snow. It was just slamming today all day. Temperature wasn't that bad in maybe the teens, low 20s. But it's awesome. This is deer hunting at its most hardcore. Don't go anywhere. Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is coming right back.
This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Volunteer Cabin Rentals and Chateau Berde. Now you have a second home. The whitetails in the North Country deal with predators on a daily basis, such as the black bear. But with the arrival of winter, the bears go underground and leave it to the wolves. During the rut, the whitetail bucks start roaming out of their safe ranges looking for does, which makes them solitary, thus losing the luxury of multiple sentries and making them more susceptible to predation.
Well guys, we got to show you something right here. We're on our way to our stand. I know the light is not that good, but wolves last night got a hold of a buck. I'll show you him just a second here, but this is where they initially got a hold of him. And I'm telling you what, I mean, these tracks are like they're the size of my hand. Right here I've got tracks in the snow. We were in this stand last night, or yesterday, probably 2 hours before dark, had a huge wolf come through. This area is just ate up with wolves. There's a lot of them in here. I mean, these wolves are absolute killers. They drug that buck 40 yards down through here. And I don't know how many wolves were here. But this whole deal, just red with blood up through here, where they knocked him down and then just started dragging him, I'm sure fighting amongst themselves. Deer hair pulling chunks off of him, and here he lays, a little 8-pointer. Yeah, this deer, you look, I mean, it's 3 degrees out, and this deer is not even froze. Meat's a little cold, but the joints, look at this, guys. They absolutely open them up. Just about couldn't skin him better with a knife. Unbelievable. And here lays a great young deer that wolves drug down. I mean, he's young deer. Look at the mass and the potential of that deer. Incredible. I've been told about wolf kills like this. Never seen one. And once again, people that think that I'm the killer. Those bucks, when these wolves kill them, it's not a pleasant death. It's
Definitely not as fast as an arrow. This is nature. This is awesome.
I was trying to get this set up in the tree, and these deer ran right into us. And what a difference up here from hunting deer that are in an area that are just slammed by the wolves. And we moved several miles. Reg had another area that they haven't seen many wolves at all in. Come in here, and buck sign like crazy, and deer. We've seen deer back in the brush here that haven't come in yet. We're gonna put a good one on the ground right here at Lane Lake Outfitters. This is awesome.
Our new setup was awesome. The rut was kicking in and the young bucks were rushing headlong to greet it. When you're on stand, it is easy to get discouraged when you're only seeing young bucks. But always remember, the mature bucks at this time have the does. The does are in estrus approximately 1 day, so this means that that dominant buck will be cruising at any time looking for another receptive doe. So to stay focused, when you're sitting on stand for an 11-hour period, you have to believe it's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. The hunt that Lane Lake Outfitters offers is cool in the fact that you get to observe a lot of deer and witness the interaction between family groups and each other. It's not only a great place to take a good buck, but to learn firsthand about whitetails as well.
There's a little buck that needs some manners taught to him by an older buck. He has controlled this area all day long, and we have yet to see a big mature buck, but they're in here. It's gonna happen.
As we dried clothes by the wood stove, the thermometer told me we were in for colder temperatures in the morning. But this hunt is just going to heat up when Martin Archery's Wild Extremes returns. This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer.
Well, we made it through the tail end of the bow season, right into the rifle season, hence the new look. But we've still got this layer extreme in the tree with us. We're gonna get on a great buck here. Seen a lot of kind of like pre-rut stuff going on, but any day it could break loose, and a lot of deer activity in this area. I can hear something moving around up there. It's gotta be a buck. I see a buck. It's a shooter. He's got a lot of mass.
One thing to remember when hunting Saskatchewan deer is that even though there is snow on the ground, the climate is extremely dry, and small sounds are discernible even at a distance. So with this awesome buck directly under my feet, now was not the time to try to draw my Martin Slayer. As you notice, his ears were pointed directly up the tree in my direction. I had to exercise patience and hope the buck would give me a shot before he walked out of my life for good. As the buck walked toward a pine, I drew, and when he didn't stop, I let down. In cold weather like this, you do not want to try to hold your bow at full draw for an extended period of time, because you will run out of gas. I gambled that the buck would stop at the bait, even if briefly, and give me one more chance to draw my Slayer.
Boys.
He's standing right there. Boys, he's going down. He's going down. Oh, right here at the Lane Lake Outfitters, we have set in this cold. What an awesome buck. Yes! What a fantastic buck. And that's just an example of what Lane Lake Outfitters has up here. I had Drew on that buck, and he stopped right behind that tree. I had to let down. I was out of gas, and I didn't know if I was going to get that boat back again. So you guys have to go to Saskatchewan deer hunting. I mean, it is brutal. You put up with a lot of elements, but my goodness, what a buck. Do you see the times on that buck? Oh my God. You guys have to get you a slayer. Had to pull twice on that buck, let it down, and he stepped forward just enough to give me just a little bit of room, and he heard me draw. Looked up the tree and I thought, man, we're not going to get this done, and we did. Thank you, God. Thank you guys for watching Martin Archery's Wild Extremes, man. It all happens right here. This is awesome. Totally in the wild. What a great deer. What a humbling experience. And Reg Qualley, thank you for inviting us up to hunt this area.
Guys, I gotta just be honest with you. I'm a little nervous. It's always, you know what you shot, but then going over to him, it's just like, I don't know, butterflies all over again. But I saw him go down by this log over here, so there's no point in blood trailing him. We're gonna do a visual one. There he is. Oh my goodness. Look at this buck, guys. Ho, ho, ho. And there he lays. What a deer. Guys, this is a good one. This is a good look at the beam sticking up there, boys. Look at this deer. What a fantastic deer, guys. Look at this. You guys, you gotta come to Canada. Look at the mass. I saw the mass on him back here. Oh, good heavens. Look at this. The ice balls on him. These bucks are, it's incredible. What a big, heavy, just a great representation of a Canadian deer, boys. Heavy masses. He's got all kinds of characters, all kinds of points. He's even got a point backwards right alongside his face here. I couldn't be happier or prouder of this deer. Well, guys, thanks so much for being with us today right here at Martin Archery's Wild Extremes, man. We put another great deer on the ground. This deer actually has 15 scoreable points on him. Hey guys, thanks again for spending time out in the cold with me, slamming it out on the great whitetails. And I'll tell you what, this show is proof once again you can take a deer in Canada with a bow. And for all of you hardcore bow hunters out there that have always dreamed of taking a deer in Canada with a bow, Lane Lake Outfitters is definitely the place to get this done. It's an experience that you'll cherish for the rest of your life. To contact Reg, either call the number we ran at the end of the show or go to our website, wildextremes.tv. Go to the Outfitters page, click on Reg, you can link directly to him, or drop me an email and I can get you in contact with him. I'll be back hunting with the Lane Lake Outfitters this fall, and who knows, maybe a select few of you will be sharing the camp with me. I'll see all of you again right here next week where the slamming will continue.
Martin Archery's Wild Extremes has been brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. Volunteer Cabin Rentals and Chateau Berden. Now you have a second home. And also in part by these other great companies, Grim Reaper Broadheads, the Kankakee Marsh Hunt Club, Carbon Tech Arrows, and Kicking Bear One-on-One. Additional products have been provided by these companies.
Man, we got us a monster.
This has been a Wild Serenade production.